right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is Your Best Life Defined. Uh, man, I got some great stuff done yesterday. So I mentioned previously that Sandy and I had made a decision in our relationship, big one. I continue to do this thing right here, and what Sandy does is she takes over the responsibilities for assigning our schedule, our agenda, our itinerary. So in other words, she is responsible for all the fun stuff because I'm busy doing it like I always do it. I'm busy doing it like I've always done it. So I wake up every day and I got to do a podcast and I got to go work on it and I've got to work out and I've got to do all of these things. And I told her, I said, well, if you will plan all the events and give me a heads up on when those things are going to happen, then what I'll do is I'll just freaking kick back. I'll do my thing. And when you say, hey, listen, Saturday we've got this, Sunday we've got this, Sunday we're doing this, I can say, yeah. Now, she didn't want to do it initially, and it was partly probably because I was trying to tell her to do it, right? That's just how it goes. But she started doing it, and hell, we're living large right now. We're going to spend more time exploring in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and for that matter, in every destination we show up at, just because Sandy said, okay, I'm going to do it. Even when she didn't want to do it. You're thinking, well, what's this have to do with you? Well, when you think about it, that is the difference. That is the only difference between people who continue to grow, or that is move outside their circle or make their circle bigger because of the influences they go after, the things they chase, and the people who have a circle that stays the same year after year after year. Now, what I'm talking about when I say the circle, if you take a look at your life is a series of activities, experiences, events, and items. I mean, it's just this mixture of relationships and all that. Until you change something within the four walls of your life, you're not moving beyond where you are right now. So in essence, what can happen and what does happen is that we sit in this series of events that we live day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out with an expected outcome, but with no tangible action towards actually achieving something, moving beyond where we are. So 10 years goes by, and for 10 years you wake up every time, you do the same time each day, you go to the same job or you do the same routine, you get home, you go to sleep, you repeat. Saturdays are boom, 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 boom. What sucks is you're busy. What sucks is you wake up every day and you're running like a chicken with your head cut off until you get back in bed. And it's not because everything you do is such an amazing adventure. It's because all of the things you've chosen to do, regardless of how it feels. How does it feel to do most of that stuff you do? But the way you break out of it is you got to pick a point that's going to make your life better somehow. You have to say, okay, what would I like to do instead of all this crap I'm doing? What would I like to do? And once you figure that out, you say, okay, now what can I do? What would be the first step to getting it done? And the answer to that's simple. Do it. Do it regardless of all the other things you have in your life. Find a way, find the time and the energy to do it. And when you don't want to do it anyway. And when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. And when you think you're failing, which is a place I've been a lot. I spent a lot of time in that position right there. When you think you're failing, that's when you really need to dig in and do it. Do it anyway, no matter how you feel. I don't know. Pretty simple for me. I'm having fun. Pretty simple for me. It isn't always easy. This isn't my perfect life. My perfect life is to be able to sit back, have more money than I can ever spend, do all the things I want to do instead of be limited by my encumbrances, by the things I have and by how much resources I have, really, time and money. Now, I have plenty of time, but I don't have a whole lot of money. So if I'm not careful and I make the wrong decision, what happens is all those things I need to get done or I'm going to do, they fall away because there's no funding. It's like, well, we'd like to really do this, but there's no funding. Oh, okay, honey. Then I guess I can't build a garage. Oh, okay. Guess we can't go to Aruba. That's a little bit off track, but it's not a math. It's what would I say? It's ones and zeros. It's ones and zeros when it comes down to it. It's a action, no action issue. It just comes down to that. You wake up and you define your life. And for me, my son sent me a podcast by Jocko, and you have to check it out. I don't remember the number, but you'll see it. And basically, they talk about having this series of events that qualifies you at a certain operational level. And in a way, that's what this is. The reason I'm showing up every day, I mean, it's because I enjoy doing what I'm doing. It's because I like sharing with you. But even more than that, I am building something. Not necessarily because every day I wake up and I'm all excited about the shit I do, because this is hard work. This is work. This requires a level of commitment every day in order to continue to do this. And even when I feel like crap, even when I wake up and I'm like, oh, no one's listening to me, or does it really matter? Woe is me. Joe Rogan said it. He says, if you're going to be a podcaster, you got to do podcasts. Joe Rogan says, if you want to be a YouTube star, you got to do YouTube videos. My belief is simple, that even if this doesn't catch on, even if you're like, nah, I don't like it, I can't sit through it, I'm like, I still win because of it. Because every day I wake up, and pretty soon this will be 365 podcasts or 425 podcasts. Pushing outside my box. Yeah, I live in an RV. Yeah, there's a lot of limitations, or there's some limitations to what I can do, but the truth is, where are you going? Where will you be 6 months from now? What thing are you going to take on today that is going to bring you closer to a place you've never been? Whether it's your relationship, whether it's your life, whether it's some amazing goal, some dream that you've always had. Maybe it's just as simple as spending more time outside. Maybe it's just getting more disc golf in. Hey, yeah, all right, do it. And pull yourself out of that equation and just ask yourself, is it a yes or no? And then every day you wake up, same time, whatever that schedule is, you wake up every day and you go, boom, I got to do this. I love it. I love it. I love it because excuses are lies we don't want to admit to. There's always a reason. I did a podcast a while back. It's called I Can't. And it's the truth, but maybe it doesn't resonate because that's a harsh truth. That is a harsh truth. But if you've ever noticed, when you engage someone in a conversation about their improvement, about their life, most people take it as a judgment. I will suggest something. I'll say, hey, how about try this? And just now, maybe I've got it voiced so that people will say, oh, okay, I'll try that. But most of the time, it's like, first thing you hear out of their mouth is why they can't. Okay, so you can't do it. Do it anyway. You can't. You don't believe that anything's going to ever come of it. Do it anyway. See, I know one thing, that if I don't show up here every day and follow through on this commitment to you and to myself, I know for sure I will never see what happens because of it. That's the cool part about it. I know that's a definitive. But I don't know that someone's going to say, hey, because you got to realize that when you jump into something like this, like my perspective on what I do every day is always going to suck. I'm going to sit here and no matter what we talk about, I'm going to be like, man, I really suck at that. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Oh, I stuttered there, blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of self-defeating in a way if you let it get in the way of taking that action every day. But there might be someone who says, hey, you know what? I really like listening to this guy. I think he's got some skills. Let's go ahead and hone this rough thing he's created, and let's see if we can't put him in a place where he can use it to his advantage, where maybe someone who's watching this is going to say, you know what? I see some potential. If nothing else, stick-to-itiveness. He has actually produced 135 sucky podcasts, and he keeps going. That is a cool perspective to have on him. If that's the only perspective, if nothing else, maybe I can go for that. The guy that did so many more podcasts than anyone else in the world and still didn't get anybody to follow him. That's a pretty good goal. I mean, it's a goal, right? I'm kind of joking, but you get the point. The point is that you don't have to put that much thought into your action. You pick a destination and then you go there. When you jump in the car and you drive to the mall or you drive to the phone store, wherever you drive, you don't spend a lot of time debating it. You say, okay, we're going to go to the store. Well, when you look at what this is and what the possibilities are in your life, that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to waking up and asking yourself that question every day. Where am I going? Now, I've talked about this and talked about this. I've thought about it, and I've tried to figure out the truth. And the reality is that the reason you may not be going anywhere beyond those four walls is because you haven't designated where that is. Think about it. Do you have a piece of paper on a wall somewhere? Do you have a dry erase board with a list of objectives for the next month? Things that you're going to get done that you must accomplish? I have one. I have one in the RV, and it's a quick jot down note, a pad on the wall so that I can write down and my wife can write down those things that need attention. Now, I don't have to put this on there because this has become a part of my life. This has become what I do anyway. I mean, it's like brushing your teeth or putting your socks on or taking a shower. No one has to tell you, all right, I don't know, honey, I'm not feeling like taking a shower today. Not friggin' feeling like it. Not feeling like getting dressed today. Just seems like too much work. By repeating an action, by repeating anything you do, and hopefully it's something that feels good, because you do a lot of repeating anyway. Think about what you do on the average day, 5-6 days a week. You're already repeating this same series of events. Maybe you stop by the liquor store and get some more beer or some wine. Maybe you don't. But other than those small nuances in your life, you're not running around experiencing anything amazing or new. There's a reason for that. In order for that to happen, you've got to introduce something new into your life. You've got to pick something that takes you someplace you haven't been or allows you to experience something you haven't experienced, and then do it. Anyway, hey, listen, guys, I just wake up every day and I think about it, and I just got to say this before we go. You know what? Not every one of these is going to be right on the mark. Not every one of these things I do is my energy is going to be right. Sometimes it takes a minute for me to roll into this and feel comfortable where I'm sitting, and depending on how things go. But I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to be here every day. And when I decide not to, I'm going to give you plenty of advance notice, and this stuff will still be sitting out there. Still be sitting out there waiting for you to check it out, maybe to revisit it. But all I can say is that, there's no better feeling in the world than to have someone say thank you. To have someone appreciate the effort you put in, the things you do every day. I think that's why social media is so attractive. It's because with a little bit of effort, you can actually get people to say, hey, thank you, love. But it's more than that. I think it takes a little more than that. I think it takes us looking at ourselves and asking ourselves questions about who we are and where we're going. And then go ahead and reach out there in this amazing world of millions of choices and just grab something and say, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. Well, what do you do if you quit? I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do it every day. What happens if you don't feel like you want to do it every day? You're going to do it every day anyway. That's the ticket right there. That's the ticket. That is the only thing that separates people who are able to continue to grow and achieve, and they seem like they just have it going on, from the people who don't. Got to do it anyway. It ain't about loving it. Ain't about hating it. It isn't about anything except for the fact that you wake up, you have this time, this wonderful event called life. You owe it to yourself to say, okay, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to roll as hard as I can. I'm going to pick that thing. And even when I don't want to, I'm going to do it anyway. Keep that in mind, hey, guys, because you know what? It's all about you. It's all about making it better. I really appreciate the follows, the likes, the shares. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.